Freedom of speech is absolutely crucial. The way cartoonists are treated is a litmus test of democracy. And cartoons have sometimes a very powerful effect even amongst people who are not that literate, and they're very prominent on the page, and they get around and they get into school classrooms and they get into history textbooks and they get into protests of various kinds, including being put on posters. So they make an impact. You know, there was a hell of a lot of soul searching that went on for me when I suddenly found that sort of flavor of the month thing that I'd been lucky enough to have for a while. That was quite difficult, and suddenly being seen as an enemy and not as an opponent or as a commentator, whatever it is, as an activist, by some people who would previously have seen me as more just an opponent. That was difficult. And in my own family stuff, look, people who really want to get to you sometimes use threats. That's very difficult, you know, with anyone who has a family or close connections. I am proud of the body of work that I put together for the big hardcover book, The Mandela Files. Andy Mason was the consultant editor, and it was it's a sort of a tribute to Nelson Mandela. And I'm very proud of that. Also, a different little thing, my recent book, Vuvuzela Nation, with text by Mike Wills, which is all my sport cartoons over almost 2 decades. Those have been very nice things to work on. But even for me, as someone who still works in sort of dinosaur fashion, I mean, I love doing I want an original. I don't do the drawings with modern technology, but the way the drawings then find their way onto other platforms. I mean, almost 1.5 decades ago that one of my drawings landed up in the White House without my knowing anything about it. I've got my ancient drawing board from my architectural studies days. Yeah, your basic dinosaur kit, the Bristol board, layout pad, a light box. I use an adjustable set square and that kind of stuff. You know, clutch pencils, your sort of architectural clutch pencils, sharpeners, and dipping pens and inks. And every month or two, something that I use is sort of going out of stock. I always make a kind of distinction between, on the one hand, what's going on around me, the issues that I've got to deal with, because cartooning is about communication. So it's really trying to communicate those issues. That's on the one hand, and on the other hand, the metaphors. The metaphors have changed, so I'm on the lookout for what are good metaphors to use. A lot of the easy good metaphors to use that have a lot of meaning for people would be from TV and from comics and from other things that they see around them. So I'm always trying to find those links between the interesting metaphors and the interesting times that we live in. And luckily, I think there are some great links.